Ready to hit the pause button on your parenting fails? Ready to feel better about your parenting? Welcome to Parenting Pause, the podcast, where all of you is welcome. I'm Leslie Potter, the founder of the Pure Joy Way, a mother, a parent coach, and a fellow traveler on this journey to wake up in our parenting. And I believe together we can make this a better world for ourselves and our kiddos. Listening to our children, it can be extremely challenging. So often what will happen is as your child is sharing something, you may not be listening to them, such as being able to say, "Tell me more." Often what will happen when our children are telling us something, we're already ahead of them. We're already thinking about what we want to tell them or how they need to be or what's going on. One of the examples I can give you is when my daughter will often be venting about someone in our neighborhood. She might be going on and on about, how they're this, they're that. She doesn't like them. And instead of listening, which would be to tell me more, and to really open to just hearing her and hearing what's underneath the narrative that she has going, which is often that she feels powerless, she feels helpless, she feels rejected by these people in the community. She doesn't feel seen, heard, or understood. And instead of just listening, I'm already on to telling her, well, those people were trying really hard and they had a difficult upbringing or they had a trauma. It's like I want to talk her out of what she is saying. It's like I'm not really interested in listening. So I'm going to encourage you to just practice this. The next time your child is telling you something, just notice, are you already on to trying to fix it, trying to change it, trying to talk them out of it? And of course, we're all trained to do this and we do it with ourselves. But think about it. When you're trying to share something with your partner or with a girlfriend, right? Or a guy friend, and you're sharing something and, you're venting, right? You're just really needing to hear yourself and needing to share something. And when they start rationalizing with you or trying to fix you or change you or tell you how you feel, what happens? I know for me, I get crazy. I have one friend that always does that. I'll be trying to share something with her and she'll say something like, well, I know somebody maybe that you could see about that maybe could support you. And it's like, I'm not asking, right? I'm not asking to be fixed. I'm not asking to be changed. I'm asking to be heard. So most of us want to be seen, heard, and understood, especially when we're in a big feeling. And I like to tell people when someone's having a big feeling or when you're having a big feeling, do your best not to believe the narrative, not to get caught up in the story of the big feeling. Because the story, when we get caught in the story, then we want to talk to the story instead of talking to the feelings. We want to listen to the story and then we want to rationalize or change or fix the story. We want to talk about the story because it's easier than feeling the feelings and then talking to the feelings. So what I learned in myself and I learned with my daughter, when she has intense feelings, there's often a narrative, and it might be the narrative that she's the victim. That can often happen when we have intense feelings. If you don't know that, check it out with yourself. When you feel powerless or helpless or rejected by your child, just take a look at your narrative. And often the narrative is that I'm a victim. Now, instead of getting caught on the narrative, I've learned to be with the feelings in a way that can say, well, of course, this is difficult for you. Like with my daughter, I might say, well, of course you don't like that person, right? Because of course it's difficult because you don't feel seen by her. You don't feel heard. Of course it's difficult for you to live in a neighborhood where people expect you to be a certain way so that they're comfortable. Of course. Take a deep breath. Oh, you can just feel the relaxation. So when I'm talking to the feeling or I'm listening to the feeling and then therefore going to be able to talk to it, it doesn't mean that I'm believing it or not believing it. I'm not agreeing with it or not agreeing with it. But I am making space to listen. So try that this week. When your child comes home and, or has a hard day on Zoom, right? Because of all this crazy teaching that we've got going on, right, during the pandemic. And if they're just complaining and if it's hard for them, instead of trying to convince them to be different or to talk them out of it, try just saying, tell me more. And as you say, tell me more, just see if you can open up to listening, to seeing, hearing, and understanding the feelings, not the story. And it'll be challenging because the story, we always want to grab onto the story because if we see it as a problem, we think we can fix it. But feelings don't need to be fixed. They want to be heard. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.